Frank Holder here at Humor Mill TV, actually we're inside the Biltmore Hotel during the Merge Summit, and we're standing there with an executive who's very well known in the television industry and even in the film industry, Mr. Roger Bobb. Roger, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. How you doing, man?
I'm all right. First thing I want to ask you is, as you transition from the Tyler Perry Studios to start your own, can you tell everybody what led to that, you starting your own studio?
Basically, when people grow up, nobody wants to be Joe Biden. You want to be Obama. So it's just time for me to be Obama and just basically I want to do more directing and just develop and produce films that are near and dear to my heart versus somebody else's. And so that's why I started my own company.
We know you started your own company. You took on a couple of projects that are now very much in the news. Can you talk about that?
Sure. So we did, let's start from the top. We did The Battle, which was a documentary about HBCU marching bands, which aired on ESPN. Did very well. And then we did a film called Raising Izzy, which recently aired on the GMC network. It was actually the highest rated original film that GMC network has ever done. And so now we're doing the Rickey Smiley Show for TV One. It's a comedy, situational comedy starring Rickey Smiley pretty much as himself, as a single father to 3 children. And so we deal with his home life as a celebrity trying to raise kids. And then we also deal with his work life in the radio station. We have Ray J as his producer. We have J. Anthony Brown as a station manager. We have little JJ as his son. So basically, I don't think I'm going out on a limb on saying it's probably the only sitcom out today that stars 3 established comedians. So you know it's hella funny. It's going to be on TV One September 18th, and we're really looking forward to it.
It's quite a different path for you to jump from film now to television. Was that planned?
No, it was really just I always had film and television in development. It's just really which one jumped off first, and just turned out the television jumped off first, so that's what I'm doing. Actually, I'm doing a feature film for BET also, that the Church Say Amen, which Regina King is going to be directing. We're going to shoot that this fall, and it'll air on TV, BET in 2013. And then probably at the end of the month, I'll give you a call because I have a real exclusive about a remake of a very popular Black love story that we're going to go into production with too. So lots of things popping at Bobcat Films.
I have a funny feeling it has something to do with Beyonce and who else is it? But we'll get to that part later.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's been good. It's been great. I've been on my own for about a little bit over a year, and we've got so many projects in development. ATL, New Hollywood South, man, it's popping there.
Well, let me ask you a couple of questions about each one. Let's first touch on the ESPN thing, because sports seems like it'd be a completely different thing off the path of what we would tend to think that you'd be interested in.
Well, you know, look, I'm 6'5", 230, so, you know, I play a little ball in my day. You know, I've always been, you know, a big fan of sports. And we named this series called The Battle. It really deals with the battle of the bands in the games. You know, a lot of people across the country aren't familiar with the battle that goes in with HBCU football games between the bands. And so we've featured Grambling State University this year, and we stayed with them for the whole season. And we basically got an inside look at what it's like to basically be a band member in the HBCU marching band. Wow,
that's real interesting. But I want to jump into the Rickey Smiley thing. Now, how did that even come by? What was the first thing that started to get to that point? Like Rickey Smiley doing a television show for TV was not something that we would think about.
Well, I worked with Rickey on Meet the Browns. He did a guest appearance, and I thought he was great. And, you know, we see each other all the time in Atlanta, and we always talked about working together. And then when I started my own company, Yolanda Starks, who's his manager, she came to me with a great idea of why don't we do a sitcom starring Rickey about his life. You know, in real life, Rickey is a single father to several adopted kids. I thought that would be, you know, a very interesting subject for a sitcom. So we got together and talked through some stories, and he had some great ideas. And we also have a lot of people know he plays different characters, Bernice Jenkins, etc. And so those characters make appearances in the show as well. So it's just one of those laugh out loud funny sitcoms, which quite frankly we haven't seen in a while, because you know, you got to put comedians in sitcoms. You know what I mean? And we got 3 comedians on the top of their game starring in this one, and we got Ray J doing this thing. People say, why Ray J? It's like a lot of people don't realize Ray J has been in about 3 or 4 sitcoms. You know, he's an established sitcom actor period, and he's very talented, and he does a great job in our piece.
So of this TV show that's about Rickey, how much of it is real life Rickey?
A lot of it, because you know, he brings, when we sat down to write the scripts, he came with us with the stories that have taken place in his personal life, and we just incorporated that into the body of the script. I mean, it is a scripted show, it's a sitcom, but we incorporated a lot of the events that happen in his real life into the show.
Now let's move on from Rickey Smiley Show. I know you got a couple other television projects that you're probably planning on thinking about, or whatever you want to say, pre-production. Can you talk about some of those?
Yeah, well, there's Let the Church Say Amen. It's being directed by Regina King. It's based on a novel by Miss Billingsley Tate. Very popular novel. It's Regina's directorial debut, and we're going to shoot that in Atlanta. We're casting now, so I can't really tell you who's in it, but we're going to shoot that in Atlanta in September. And then pretty much after that, we'll be doing more episodes of Rickey Smiley, I imagine. So, you know, we'll keep it popping, and then, of course, I'm going to come back and make you my surprise announcement on the Humor Mill.
There you go. There you go. Well, how can we follow you, find out what's going on?
Absolutely. Twitter is at Bobcat, BOBBCAT, and you can also check out my website, bobcatfilms.com.
Thank you for taking our time.
You got it, bro.